You know those ordinary, repetitive tasks we do every day? Folding laundry, wiping counters, fixing meals? Sometimes it feels like no one notices. But what if I told you God does? Yes, God sees the small things, and they matter more than you think. Hi, sweet friends. Welcome back to Graceful Homemaking, where we embrace faithful living and find beauty in the everyday rhythms of home. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're new, I invite you to subscribe and join this community of women who are learning to serve with grace, live with purpose, and find joy in the simple things. Let's be real. Homemaking isn't glamorous. There's no applause when we mop the floor, no awards for meal planning, organizing toys, or cleaning the bathroom. And there are days when we ask ourselves, does this even matter? But here's the truth. Just because it feels small doesn't mean it's insignificant. And the reason why? It's because God looks at the heart behind the work. We live in a world that celebrates highlight reels, accomplishments, aesthetics, and outward success. But God doesn't measure value the way we do. He doesn't scroll through our lives looking for perfection. He looks at the posture of our heart. Like in 1 Samuel 16 verse 7, it tells us, man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And that means that even when you feel unnoticed, you're not. God sees the woman who chooses patience when she wants to shout. He sees the late night dishwashing, the early morning prayers, the quiet sacrifices that no one else claps for. You don't need a platform to be purposeful. You don't need recognition to be radiant. You see, God sees you right in your kitchen, sis. Right in that laundry room. Right in your minivan. And that changes things. It changes how we see the work we do every day. Let's talk about what feels mundane. That word gets a bad rap. Like it means something boring or meaningless. Like I used to do it too, to be honest. But in the kingdom of God, the mundane is often where the miraculous is hiding. Think about it. Jesus washed feet. He broke bread. He walked dusty roads. He sat at tables. So when you're wiping crumbs off that table for the third time today, you're in good company. Colossians 3:23 reminds us, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord. That verse doesn't say only when you're doing spiritual things. It says whatever you do. So that means everything, right? That includes sweeping, cooking, sorting socks, and making grocery lists, and the list goes on. You are doing kingdom work when you do these things with a willing, loving heart. You are reflecting God's faithfulness in the way you show up again and again and again, even when it feels unseen, sis. And speaking of faithfulness, that brings me to something I hold close to my heart. Your home is your ministry. And if you've been here for a while, you know I would say this repeatedly. You don't have to lead a Bible study or stand on a stage to make an eternal impact. You are already doing ministry every time you create an atmosphere of peace, speak words of life over your children when you're doing that, or serving your family with love. When you pour your heart into your home, you're not just managing a house, you're nurturing souls. You're building a legacy that will ripple through generations. So even when the work feels small, even when it feels like nobody sees, remember this. God sees it. He sees you and He delights in your faithfulness. So the next time you feel invisible in your own home, remember you are seen. You are valued. You are fulfilling a sacred calling. If this encouraged you today, I'd love for you to leave a comment. What small thing has God reminded you He sees? And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that button so we can keep walking this faith-filled journey of homemaking together. Until next time, keep serving with joy, loving well, and living gracefully. You are doing eternal work, even in the smallest things, sis. So just remember, you got this. You're doing good. You are doing a phenomenal job. Be encouraged, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.